Thank you. The Mount Airy man accused of killing his 14-year-old stepson 4 days ago was in court today to face a judge. Gary White Jr. was arrested Thursday. Authorities say the murder happened at their home on South Ridge Drive, and a 14-year-old Aben Dodson died of blunt force trauma. Meantime, teachers and students at Pilot Mountain Middle School are reacting to 14-year-old Aben Dodson's killing. We're told he was known as a bright young man who had a way with words and competing in spelling bees and debates. The school district has deployed a crisis response team to the school for anyone who needs them. Winston-Salem police say a 24-year-old man is behind a school shooting threat made toward Carter High School on Friday. Zion Hatcher Reed is charged with a felony communicating mass violence on educational property. Police went to the school after learning about that threat, and they did not find anything. Hatcher Reed's bond is set at $50,000. He is expected back in court later this week.
Tonight, we're following the latest developments in last week's killing of United Healthcare's CEO. A man being called a strong person of interest was taken into custody at a McDonald's restaurant in Altoona, Pennsylvania. McKenna Alexander joins us from the courthouse tonight, where that suspect appeared just a short time ago.
Here at the Blair County Courthouse, the suspect accused of fatally shooting United Healthcare CEO was just formally charged on 5 counts related to today's incident in McDonald's. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione is charged with several counts, including the possession of firearms without a license, tampering with records or identification, and possession of instruments of crime. This comes after a McDonald's customer notified staff that a man sitting at a table resembled the person of interest identified by NYPD. When officers arrived to the restaurant, they found Mangione sitting at a table with a laptop. When asked whether he'd recently been to New York, Mangione reportedly became very nervous and was visibly shaking. Tonight, Mangione appeared relatively calm and neutral, though he did seem a bit surprised by the large gathering of press. The judge was initially considering setting a bail amount, but after hearing from the Altoona DA that criminal homicide charges will soon be filed by New York, bail was denied. Those charges are expected to come later this evening or first thing in the morning. As officials wait for those charges to come down, tonight Governor Shapiro is condemning those that have celebrated the murder of Brian Thompson.
As some have looked to celebrate instead of condemning this killer. Brian Thompson was a father to 2. He was a husband, and he was a friend to many. And yes, he was the CEO of a health insurance company. In America, we do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences or express a viewpoint.
Mangione has reportedly been in Pennsylvania for several days now, with stops in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Tonight, Mangione is being transported to a state correctional facility before being extradited to New York. In Blair County, McKenna Alexander.
And authorities say Mangione was born and raised in Maryland, has ties to San Francisco, and his last known address is in Honolulu. Our Baltimore sister station, WBAL, is reporting his family has deep connections to that city. His cousin was a state lawmaker, and his parents own a country club and radio station. Mangione was also the valedictorian of his high school graduating class back in 2016. Classmates say he was well known and well liked. According to CNN tonight, a small private memorial service was held for Brian Thompson today, again 5 days after his killing. That funeral, though, was not made open to the public.
Bond is set at $500,000 for the man police say shot at a group of people in downtown Winston-Salem. 21-year-old Javen Helton, who's from Catawba County, appeared in court virtually today. He's accused of shooting at a group of people Thursday night on the corner of Northwest Boulevard and Trade Street. Investigators say someone in the group shot back at him. Helton faces multiple charges, including felony assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. One of the witnesses says his car was shot into during that attack, flattening a tire, shattering 3 windows, and putting a bullet through the headrest. Police have yet to say why the shooting happened or if the person who shot at Helton will be charged. We're waiting to learn more details about a house fire in Winston-Salem over the weekend that left 2 men dead. This was the scene Saturday morning around 3:30 along North Graham Avenue. The men's bodies were discovered inside that home, and right now authorities have not publicly named the 2 victims or said what led to that deadly fire.